The Biame Betna a transfer news na a year medeba. And there's a specific reason for that.
Okay.
When you are in the transfer season, the news no above very, very, very thick and fast until 1 minute. The next minute when we say na update about. Yes, see, assume see a free club we echo a different club. And it's very important say ebema yeti fono atinye maybe ase concerning the deals clubs no close. Because Gabi, in this particular window no, it looks like we are going to see very historic things already. Yahu Brandon Morgan Rogers story.
Yeah.
With Aston Villa. Oko Chelsea. And I think so far that has been the biggest transfer so far. But it may be Kosu. Different clubs across board. Gabi, enra as at 11 p.m. Enna eba abontin say Côte d'Ivoire for Branty for Diomande. Real Madrid for Atiska 100 million euros. Our Modesha Abranti din. And they want to sign him ahead of a season na Eban. Na Jose Mourinho aiding Komobi. On say Real Madrid must start pre-season and they are already, doing their activities. Jose Mourinho share modern ball for players now or at his disposal. No. Any bisa na simbi. Say players now. We need some reinforcements in the team. Also, of course. More pacey players in the team. Inti player or tumrika. Say your bobo on the wings no so obet me tumrika nya ball no cross it into the box. Those kind of profiles. I wasn't surprised.
Oh, okay.
Say young Diomande na sema ba abontia ye say Real Madrid no. But Gabi, during the World Cup, so Bekaya, the same young Diomande was being sought after by a Paris Saint-Germain for the same 100 million euros.
Yeah, Leipzig for Nantes.
In fact, what happened was that it looks like the bid had not even been submitted officially. Not any name. Say 100 million. No, that was the asking price for a player from the young Diomande. As at now, it looks like Real Madrid also want to match that price. I won't pay some the Baba from. Because once you bring it down, it means you are trying to tell the player that whatever is the asking price that PSG for no air quote, he's not worth that. Now, only Madia RB Leipzig for no air can. They have rejected the bid. That's number one. But after rejecting the bid, they have made it clear to a Florentino Perez say, "Wo company say you're voting as president of Real Madrid." Okay, say there's going to be a 150 million euro signing. If that is the case, then that should be our player. Okachiraman saying, say, "Obe president of Real Madrid, you make a 150 million euro signing." So, if that promise is to be fulfilled, fulfill it with young Diomande. So now that's the asking price of RB Leipzig. They have capitalized on the promise of Florentino Perez to ask for more money for their player.
But I think that the last time PSG coin, sir, around that 100 million or more, Babaka's own player near 120. So why 30 now Babaka?
Enter America Semnisan.
Okay.
So they have capitalized on the campaign promise of Florentino Perez to increase the asking price of the player. And I think that is a very creative business to do, Gabi. In this transfer window or in this transfer market, if you are not smart, player now more money for that player, you will sell him for cheap. 100 million is not cheap money. I think Yan Diomande is being overpriced. Because Gabi,
even the 100.
Oh, come on. Yan Diomande. Unka Yaji 70, 80 honum. Because I know the player has a very good potential. Like the potential is there. Now you know that this guy has something. Even when you look at his track record, Nima of him through his career to get to the point he's at now, you can see that no, there's something special about this boy. Only 2, 3, 4 years he'll be able to reach that potential. But 100 million, market and I can agree to some extent because if RB Leipzig able to shed that loophole and point to Florentino Perez, so we promise. So be president, Uber sign one player for 150 million, and then my player no player in Diomande. So that is what Real Madrid are facing right now, and I think RB Leipzig will not back down until they pay that money.
But do you think that Florentino Perez, minimum,
yeah,
in terms of transfers, will make it the big transfers.
Yeah,
bid 250 for Jan Diomande. Though said that's the asking price now.
Yeah,
for RB Leipzig, but Florentino Perez,
a bad impa so be out to me. But on say as of now, the other story coming in from Real Madrid for us and they say they are trying to look at exploring a deal for Rodri. If you look at the dynamics here, Pao, it is not coincidental. Say these two players have come under Real Madrid full scrutiny over the last few hours.
Okay.
Because Rodri didn't here, Pao. Look, Rodri Eka say, Onyaya, he will come back to Spain. That has been the position of the player. So currently, look, he's under contract at Man City, but that contract is in the last 1 year. Sorry, and player biano say o contract nika 1 year or contract niswa, you automatically enter talks with the club no to see whether there could be an extension. Gabi Rodri did 30 years. It's a Usha player nan kasana uhune ne caliber no winning the World Cup now 30 years, and Manchester City don't want to allow him to go now. It looks like they want to give him a 3-year deal, but that 3-year deal no because he wants to go back to Spain. Emma Basuna for crowd because say oh yenya play no cry yepe. But do you know what Real Madrid is doing now? Real Madrid have a strategy. So almost a player no the contract akabe 1 year or so. They find a way to throw in the speculation in the air. No more sabe deny player we yempeno. Shedi omre Ibrahim Konate. He allowed his contract to run down and then Real Madrid Ecofano free transfer. It would have been more creative for Real Madrid to wait for Rodri 1 year contract now to run out before they go and pick him up. But as it stands, Florentino Perez secretly is looking to have some engagements and talks to see whether they can go and bring Abrante friend Rodri Cascante Hernandez. And Gabi, if you ask me, look, Udia Fatou Nchensé player no person call back to Spain. Real Madrid have always been very smart in the market. But as it stands, Manchester City so try say betting convince Rodri to stay. There is no way Man City will take anything less than 50 million for Abrante friend Rodri. There's no way. And so that is also another interesting aspect of the issue that we'll look at in the coming days. Whether or not Rodri will be convinced enough to sign the extension at Manchester City. The agreement I am hearing is that on person money 3 years more. So on City no, or he doesn't want to sign. But at this point, no, Madrid want to go and bypass their originally, established idea of buying players on person on chain 1 year no so no more for free transfer no. It looks like they want to bypass that and go and bring Rodri to Real Madrid, but we'll see how that goes. I know in the few hours, in the few days, no, you better updates from there. So Oka Nina Boma, you realize that it could possibly mean that Real Madrid will want to spend or be looking to spend more than 150 million euros on Abrante Efreno, Diomande, and Rodri. It could be more than 150 million euros. And as to whether Florentino Perez will sanction that, only time will tell. Gabi Anopeyana Mitese Manu Kone of AS Roma, France international boy, It looks like Manchester United are following him. And as it stands, personal terms have been agreed between a player and Manchester United. In principle, Madiakano, and they say club to club negotiations ever go on. But the biggest twist for Manu Kone deal and they say on also train PSG. So So you look at the linkage between PSG and the French players. Say player be about France national team. No who say a team like PSG bet me about Befana. They would rather consider that deal than to move all the way outside of the French league. And that is one thing I've noticed. Because to play in the French league, number one, you have the comfortability of playing with players who are familiar with you. You are still in the French league. You still have the guarantee of becoming a more developed player before maybe thinking of going outside to go and play outside the French league. At this point, you can tell, say, Manu Kone as a player, Onyaya, PSG, and he's waiting for PSG office. That is why at this point, even though he has agreed principle in terms of the wages with Manchester United, there has been nothing finalized yet.
But PS, what new choked in Fifi, no? Waran Zaremro, Jao, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, or Dosrodo.
And that is why I think, say, Manu Kone enya good deal, and a PSG for. Sorry, Roma for a good deal from Manchester United. They should allow the player to go. The player must go. Because, Gabi, another thing I've realized about Man United is that this particular window, they are reinforcing their midfield more. As an emphasis, more on midfield. And I think it is linked to Michael Carrick philosophy or person of Manchester United. Originally, he was a midfielder who played for United. And when you look at the kind of structures that he wants to build with the midfield now, it is something that we want to see happen. Because look at how Okofa Yuri Tilleman from Aston Villa, number 1.
Yeah.
Okofa, Chelsea for player Andre Santos for 50 million. And I think that even if they didn't have any idea or target that they had in mind for the player, on community Kofasa player for over 50 million pounds. Because player know the kind of baller or bomber at Chelsea, no one a bad player. A woman said no one started yet.
Yes, of course.
But he was a very excellent player. And for Chelsea to make that profit on his sale, it means Manchester United have a plan, and you see that is what he wants to do. In FIFA, he wants to reinforce the midfield. But I'm sure players like even Messi Mount may have to leave. Because imagine say the Manu Kone abeka, Manu Kone boy a World Cup He was super excellent. So we want to see that kind of transfer because I think say Manu Kone has a better chance in Manchester United than going to PSG.
So Mami Mr. Manu Kone and Arsenal so the sign and also akwesi.
For Arsenal right now, I think they are prioritizing Bruno G transfer.
Okay.
Because they don't want Chelsea to hijack that deal again. Already Morgan Rogers transfer. Arsenal were in pole position. Arsenal were asked to bring the same amount of money at Chelsea and then they backed off, saying they were not going to increase anything above 100 million for Morgan Rogers. And at Chelsea found who in term for Morgan Rogers by 470 million. So it was their loss because if you really value the player, you will spend that amount on the player. And if Chelsea bypassed and went to pick that player, then it means Chelsea also realized that no, the player is going to be of value to them. But as it stands now, Newcastle for Bisa for something around 80 million for a year. Bruno G from Arsenal.
70.
Now 70, you already know that Newcastle, they have become very stubborn in the market. Gabi, Obianu may be in the Premier League. And do you know why? It's because of the Morgan Rogers transfer. After the Morgan Rogers transfer, Obiti Elliot Anderson transferred by just 1 million. It increased the ceiling of players and their value in the Premier League. So compare Premier League proven player. Be ready to spend nothing less than 80 million. You will have to spend. Bruno Guimaraes, what did 28 years of Gabi? 28 years player costing 80 million pounds.
2, 3, 4 years back and KB are 48.
52.
Yeah.
That is how much you will get for a player who is 28 years and above. But today, we are buying those players for 80 million pounds, Gabi. So think about it. Steve Parish, chairman of Air Crystal Palace, after that deal of Morgan Rogers, Omani clear to Chelsea from penny for through Bedad Egbali say, look, your player now more cast emotion in Adam Wharton. We will not sell him for anything less than 100 million. We will not sell him for anything less than 100 million, Gabi. Adam Wharton. I agree, he's an excellent player and I give him all that respect. But if you want a player of his caliber in your team, I don't think you have to go and spend 100 million pounds. But after we saw that deal of Chelsea for Morgan Rogers, also there be that whether it is you or any other team who is coming for Adam Wharton, you will have to spend more than 100 million. It will be maybe. And that's the situation in the Premier League right now.
Okay.
Gabi, Anopeya na Diarrio, Kuwakra Tire was Spain. Edibetu just say, Arsenal have submitted a bid of 100 million euros plus Victor Gyökeres. Omode pe Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid. And when I saw the news, I laughed for a few seconds and I was asking myself, say Barcelona for air shot the way. What would they be thinking? What would be their response? Because originally in yet they said Arsenal for they wanted to make a signing, even if it was not a marquee signing. They will make a couple of signings. If you look at that signing, you realize that okay, Arsenal for no, they are in business. Pakabi, do you think maybe so? Just help me here. Do you think say Gyökeres plus 100 million euros and yet it be 50 million and now 100 million euros?
They are traders.
Oh, come on.
Now they person much Julian Alvarez and boy.
I don't free having a buy
200 million, you know, because Victor Gyökeres for now. Okoto Victor Gyökeres.
You spend something like 100 million.
100 million. What the Ebi Kra one cry 90 million pounds. In this we 90 million pounds for Victor Gyökeres. Yeah. Now wakoto Bruno. You can't say
Bruno G. Julian Alvarez.
You then cry 100 million. I say 190 million. Aye.
I don't plan if we have in a Siba for Menea Ayakosum Nana. I don't. You see, and that is how the market has now. Look at what the market has done today. Look, the thing is that even if it is not true, Gabi. The point is that compare Victor Gyökeres to Julian Alvarez in terms of their numbers. And and you realize that it is quite clear that Victor Gyökeres, his performance for Arsenal last season, they would have wanted more from him. The truth of the matter is that Arsenal, if they want to be very progressive in what they are doing, they will have to give the guy a chance, a second season, to prove his worth, but rather add one more player to him. The solution is not taking him away and bringing Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez alone is not the solution to Arsenal for goal scoring problems. It cannot be.
But even Crampon say, who a team last year now competed so about the UEFA Champions League. Your dream was na Ankanya require the FA Cup. Na wadi Carabao at the account. No wadi Premier League the account.
Good.
Which I went to making in a muba na the ultimate. So person maintenance our purpose na.
Why you selling Victor Gyökeres?
Yes. All this has track and remember Babacamo. Then we prioritize it back over what the big matches are. No back on about the other matches, and then what they are now open. Meanwhile, I can't have it or no back when they were pra.
And Victor Gyökeres gave them at least 21 and above goals and assists throughout the season. It's just a way be buy 5 goals. No, he is a good player who, if given time, he will settle in the Arsenal team and he will help them get the goals that they need. Into the whole 100 million plus Victor Gyökeres. I'm sorry, but if Arteta is looking at that thing and he's sanctioning it, yeah, and maybe your person will quarter 5th and 6th in the coming season. Because Gabi, you agree with me that the playing field has been leveled in the Premier League. Season here, boy. Look at everybody who the top teams. They have all brought in new managers. Tottenham Hotspur now share business all year this summer. Taking 80 million for Sandro Tonali from Newcastle. And Okra can be in Newcastle for Manu maybe. Because if they sold Sandro Tonali for 80 million, why wouldn't they sell Bruno G for over 80 million? Do you do that? Chelsea in Xabi Alonso went in for his marquee signing in Morgan Rogers, 117 million. Michael Carrick is making signings. Somebody has here. So Arteta needs to sign. But if this is the approach to sign, I don't know what they are targeting for next season. Gabi, Chelsea have done their thing again. And I think that by the time this window ends, the biggest winners will be Chelsea.
In the transfer window.
This transfer window. Someone named Aston Villa for set piece coach now your friend Austin Macphee.
Yeah.
Chelsea for Kofano. And now it was confirmed that Austin Macphee said goodbye to the technical team and the coaches as well as the playing body of Aston Villa. And now he's making his way to Chelsea Football Club. And now me who news no me share at the end and me say what? This is one of the biggest things that will happen to Chelsea this season. And throughout the whole week me did Chelsea for whom come out back to back. In fact, and now me receive comments we say adena Chelsea for news in corner me dey to abontin. We say of course they are the ones who are making the business in the market. Gabi
Oko Premier League for now.
For now.
And even the big clubs, why are they
signing? Man United free no you Tottenham must be free or my marquee signings. Now it's just what's coming to the market. But now they're not only going for players, Gabi. They are going for specialists in set pieces to come and help the Chelsea project next season. So
me Chelsea for them minim dia ebia omuhu ne say because who aya kweva ohodada.
Good.
Which last season obi ehun say Chelsea compared to the previous years na ya kind say back we were on Pama and Omede Enzo Maresca bay.
That's Pochettino.
Compare Satam ni na ba.
Yeah.
Chelsea set pieces na sesa.
Yeah.
Bia didi ye pass Bruno Cueva ba no. Niema ye kama under Enzo Maresca. So loophole no ye there intia. Is it their Arsenal for ni ye intina? Chelsea asan kokofa Macphee dim ne ba be kan wan as say.
It is partly the thing, but the point that must be emphasized and it say Ushe modern boy Austin Macphee Eyenwo Aston Villa na. He helped Aston Villa to score 29 goals in all competitions last season through set pieces.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, and I say he's a specialist in that role. Into no coaching school, no. He didn't just go and study coaching, but he decided to specialize in a set pieces.
Okay.
Now, when you look at the track record of Austin Macphee now, he went through a certain order, a certain rank. Maybe he was at House of Midlothian, Scotland national team. No, in fact, in Pempi, he cannot only Portugal for a year, Juma, off season. Club teams no echo in recess. Then he goes to Portugal national team to go and help them coach set pieces. So the experience and track record that he has built over time, no, and the success rate of all of those things that he has done. And then I'm on the credibility now. Say Chelsea for no person number. And when you look at what Xabi Alonso wants to do with this project now, he doesn't just want to build a team that is highly expansive or mobile free-flowing football. He also wants to have specialists who are going to specifically help the team to score goals.
Okay.
And there's also one thing that Chelsea, it has affected them so many times. And then since 2005 to 2025, Gabi, every season between that period of 20 years, Chelsea conceded more than 30 goals in all competitions. So, Xabi Alonso no bar. And you must say in America, how can we reduce goals as well as scoring more goals? ABR, the set piece that we are going to use to score our goals wouldn't be the kind of set piece that Arsenal for any show goals. But by the time we are done with the league, you will feel the effect of Austin Macphee on the team.
Okay.
Now, Okokabom with Cueva now, it tells you what Chelsea can do next season. And I honestly think, Gabi, what we are going to witness next season from Chelsea, it something remarkable.
Menim so omeno no so awie dan akabako quick one na memfa me general one with the German team no quick one yeah mean ko
you say Liverpool for no you are not really hearing of Liverpool.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things happening there. I think that Liverpool for now are very careful of how they do their recruitments. Oshaya last season they broke the British record for transfers twice in one window. Wabra Mokofa, Abranti friend Alexander Isak bought him for 130 million pounds. Omokofa Hugo Ekitike and Susa close to about 100 million pounds. And even Florian Wirtz crowd by it was I think over 90 million. Gabi, you see the introduction of Andoni Iraola. So what you can realize about the Liverpool team right now is that they would want to emphasize more on helping current players on Warhol to develop in a certain way. Because Andoni Iraola, there's one special thing about him. Say, only players he does not necessarily want to have a talented player who is talented from day one, who can give him the results that he needs every time. Intino Oshe players, be to say Antoine Semenyo at the time when he Andoni Iraola joined Bournemouth, the trajectory that he sent the players on within that period, my players need to be picky.
Yeah.
So Antoine Semenyo is one. Number two, Dominic Solanke. Number three, Alex Scott na Chelsea for no no and Oshe Dominic Solanke Diana. By the time he moved from Bournemouth to Tottenham Hotspur, he started declining. So it was very clear. Oshe the graph now. When he was at Bournemouth under the leadership of Andoni Iraola, there was a certain projection with his progression and development.
Okay.
And that is one thing I think say Liverpool focus for Andoni Iraola so ombe coach they wanted from him. At this point you realize that there are some Liverpool players who were not bought for expensive amounts, but they are going to be part of the team this particular season. Okay. A bit to say Conor Bradley mo, Curtis Jones mo. There's a need for Andoni Iraola to carefully examine these players and help them to go on a certain trajectory or coach you successfully and progressively to get the best out of them. And I think that is why we are not hearing a lot from them in AXR transfer market.
A quick one. Another the appointment, Jürgen Klopp for the German national team. Now,
on say Germany focus for Jürgen Klopp. No, I honestly think that they had to convince him to join them because Jürgen Klopp ejai Liverpool Dumano. Oka on one interview be say when he was at Liverpool he immersed himself totally into football and coaching. But oye na adwin say ojai no. Opeso okoje na home. Akwa Pep Guardiola sir, he wants to focus more on family and have a good time with them because Gabi, when you are coaching it's not easy. Your mind, your soul, your body is invested in the game. So you have very little time with your family. And I think that is the situation of Jürgen Klopp. But at this point, Julian Nagelsmann, that very difficult period, World Cup at the expense of Paraguay, run of 32 years, it meant that the German national team needed a certain transformation, and the only person they thought it wise to go and pick was Jürgen Klopp. But Jürgen Klopp now at this point, on pay how be brave. Until he has made it clear to the media. Masa, mudi matema, and one is major Manamo, Munyamadia, may come baby. Men passing beer, Adam with matem, ebedi me family atem. May judge Manako, no severance package. Men pay ABA come 3 years contract. And as a car also a 4 million Muncha Missika Mammy, Debbie on pet on baby. We judge Manoko baby. Nanya no one now can because the way the any atom did remember. No, so that is why he's speaking to the media, not the fans. Because say it the attempt every media phone air bar, it forces the fans to do more. So the media need to be very guided in Germany because Gabi on himself Julian Nagelsmann. He was subjected to a lot of abuse. A lot of abuse. And Abia not went to for himself. But Klopp will make sure that because look, coaching a club team is different from coaching a national team. And I think he wants to make sure that the right things are done for them to make some progress.
Okay. Me say me ko Kingsman so me wi ana mabasa prince so fie ni aba bi wi ofie na fie yetimi edi